And welcome back to BFG, the Barely Functional Gamers Podcast, episode 49. I'm Chris.
David.
And it is March 24th at the time of this recording. You can catch us live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/barelyfunctionalgamers or on any of your podcasting apps. You can also follow us on Twitter at BFGS Podcast, Instagram at Barely Functional Gamers, and on YouTube at Barely Functional Gamers Name, also on SoundCloud at the Barely Functional Gamers Name. Also remember, this is not a work-safe nor child-friendly show, so put your headphones on, kick your kids out of the room, or, just shut the door.
Yep. Because there is a good chance there will be cursing. Very good chance.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways.
All right, so
it's a busy week. GDC this week, a bunch of events happening, and new games coming out. New games came out this week. So lots of stuff.
So I guess we'll start with games we played this week. I'll go ahead and go first due to the fact that I played, I almost called it Subnautica. Wow. Satisfactory. Now I'll say this, and I've mentioned it in the video game when I was playing it as well, but this game reminds me a lot of Subnautica. And the fact that whenever you build something, you're on a different planet. You start off, you're falling. Stuff catches on fire. Happens in Subnautica.
Whee.
You land, but you're not in the water. You land, you can choose how you place things down, but they're all structured the way it was designed. So it kind of gives it a feel of corporation built, which is exactly how Subnautica is too. How it's supposed to be, it's a corporate building thing. You're coming here to take the planet, you're doing research, whatever. Anyways, Planet. This game is specifically about that. You're going and you're taking over another planet and you're building yourself a factory, quite literally. And you're gathering resources, you're polluting the planet, it's airs, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I played it for, I think, 4 hours straight and didn't realize it.
It happens with these kind of games.
Yeah.
Where you get to build your own stuff.
Yep.
Definitely happens.
Oh, yeah.
But it looked pretty cool. The construction, we had a close-up a second ago. The construction looked really cool.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really weird, too, because all the materials come flying out of you. So, yeah, that part's a bit weird. But, the way you get your technology is you have to do the research to get it, and they'll tell you, oh, yeah, now you can go ahead and scan for this. Grab this stuff and build something new.
It's actual progression.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's progression, there's, a goal that you're trying to do, and you find some really weird alien artifacts on the planet, too. And then there's, wait, is this one of those creatures? No. So that's the lizard dog, and then there's these weird bugs that attack you.
There's a bug.
They come from plants, and once the plant explodes, these bugs come out and they attack you, and you got to freaking dodge and try to zap them with your little taser you got.
Bug zapper.
Yeah, it's alien zapper thingy-mabobber, whatever it's called. But it's a pain in the butt.
Alien kettle prod.
Yes.
Lizard dog thing.
The lizard dog thing just runs away, but there's bigger creatures that will attack you, and one of them is really fast, and he just runs around you. So you got to try to kill him. I think it's like a furry wolf-tailed thing. I forget what they're called. Anyways, and then there's one that shoots... oh yeah, and I forgot about these stupid little birds. So this bird is weird.
Were you trying to stab it?
Yes. Yes, I was. The bird is weird, though, because I saw on somebody else playing the game that if the bird is near plants, it'll try to look like a flower. So it opens its beak and has these flaps around its mouth that opens up.
That's kind of cool.
I'm not sure if it's trying to blend in or if it's eating by opening itself, and bugs. It looks like a bug or like a plant. So the bugs will try to land on it.
Nice.
Which makes sense.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that there's an
ecosystem.
Ecosystem. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm liking that.
Nice. You stabbed it.
I shocked it.
You shocked it.
Yes. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, the game is cool. I'm hoping, because I think the way they have it set up is each biome that you can go to isn't actual biomes. It's part of the same planet. It's just you have your desert, you have your forest, and you have a jungle. And so, each one of them is set up as easy, normal, hard is the way I've seen it. So the easy one is the forest where there's a large, vast area that you can go through.
Yeah.
And you can gather resources, but the resources are further spread apart from each other. Medium, which is the desert planet, it's a little more hostile, but the materials are closer together. And then there's the forest, which is very small territory. Everything's really hostile, but all the materials are pretty damn close, and it's easy to gather. So there's those kind of options. However, I was hoping that perhaps later down the line, when the game finally comes out, they'll offer you new planets to go to, which will then also offer new fauna and flora.
Oh, because this is an early access?
Yes.
Okay, it's an early access game.
Yes. Yeah, sorry. It is early access game. It says so in the top. Anyhow, I really enjoyed playing this game. I'm looking forward to playing some more, and I'm not doing it as Eddie, it is me. Because, and no camera. So you get the full frontal view of the game, and not me.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to see your face.
Yes, no, trust me, I'm very happy too. While editing, I don't have to stare at my face. Anyhow, on to what you've been playing.
So this week, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice came out, and so I was playing that. It's actually a lot of fun. It's difficult. The thing is, like with any new release, there's always problems, especially with From Software and PC releases.
Yeah,
they tend to have issues. And so I had to manually configure or manually change the game configuration XML because it by default wanted to be at a really high resolution, which my computer couldn't handle, and it wouldn't change in the options. It would not change. You could change it, and it would just go snap right back. There's just nothing I could do other than manually changing it. But once I got that going, game worked great. A lot of fun. So it's difficult.
I want to ask, how long did you spend trying to fix that before you realized all you had to do is do that?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like half an hour.
Okay.
Half an hour?
That's not that bad,
Half an hour to 45 minutes. It was just like, oh, what's going on here? Why doesn't this change? Oh, hey. Okay. Stop. Okay, let me go do research online. Oh, you can change this thing. I changed this thing. It didn't work. Why? Let me stop the stream. 5 minutes later. Oh, hey, now it works. Let's do this.
All right. So, yeah, we'll have like a little cut up video of him having issues with it, and hopefully he gets frustrated at one point.
Yeah, there you go. That's me playing. Game looked beautiful.
Yeah.
It's actually a really pretty looking game. His prosthetic arm looks really cool and has a lot of functionality to it. I can't wait to get more ninja weapons because you have the sculptor dude that it's like, hey, every time you get ninja weapons, bring them to me, and I will configure them to your arm, and so you can do different stuff. The fighting is it's pretty good. The only thing I have trouble with is the lock-on system. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to figure out if I'm actually locked on, especially when the enemies are really close up. Because if they sneak up on you and they're behind you, then it's a little hard to lock onto them. And those are the moments where you usually have a hard time with. But other than that, it's very timing based. Okay. So it's countering or knowing to dodge or knowing to jump over and attack. So yeah, timing is critical when fighting. And I like that the enemies are hard and that they are good at blocking and deflecting.
So would you say it's kind of like Tenchu meets Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah, a little bit. The fighting when they're aware of you, yes, is very Ninja Gaiden, where it can be fast, difficult. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be very good at timing. Okay. The stealth sections are very much like Tenchu.
Nice.
Where you want to stay concealed. You can do a bunch of different stealth attacks, from jumping, from ledges, from just sneaking up behind them. There's items that you can use to help you be stealthy. A bunch of things like that. You have the cool grappling hook that's part of your arm, so you can just zip around all over the place, maybe that's escape. Cool.
Damn.
Yeah, and there's what I liked was that there's this there was this big dude with a mallet. right? Mm-hmm. And he's like so freaking hard to kill if you go 1-on-1 with him, you know? But you can straight up just kill him in one hit if you sneak up on him.
Nice.
You know? Pretty cool stuff. I'm going to fast forward a little bit in this video here.
All right.
Just so you can maybe see some fighting.
Oh,
this dude. Yeah. So there's this, so there's and that's where you lose your arm.
Oh, nice.
But he did like an unblockable attack. And so that's something that the characters in this game do. They do unblockable attacks. Okay. So it becomes critical in the fighting to know, I can't just straight up block it, but is it something I want to try and parry? Is it something I want to sidestep? Or if it's a sweeping attack, which cannot be blocked at all, do I want to jump over it?
Gotcha.
You know? And if you get the timing right on the counter or the dodge or the jumping, you can you have a split second chance to do a counter attack for it.
Okay.
You know? And so it's like just get good at the game. It's kind of if you're 1-on-1 and not worrying about a bunch of people around you, you can almost kind of like fuck with them a little bit. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, like, what do you think I'm going to do? What do you think I'm going to do? Smack! You know? And then like come back and like you're just waiting for all these little openings to hit them and you're like kind of whittling down their health a little bit, but you have to do like a killing blow on the character, and tougher enemies take multiple killing blows before they actually die.
Okay.
And that's where you have to get that opening on them, where you have to do like a counterattack or dodge or whatever.
So what's with the whole thing about him being shadows die twice?
Right. So there's a whole thing with like the dragon heritage and like dragon's blood. And so he has this, and it lets them be resurrected, like they can't die. But a side effect of that is that they can get a disease like called dragon rot.
Oh.
And so essentially what it is that the more and more you die in this game, you start building up, I guess, more sickness. And so you can actually start getting like negative effects.
Oh, okay.
There's positive and negative effects. And there's just like, I'm still kind of figuring out all the mechanics of this, but there's consequences to dying all the time.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
And as far as the resurrection is concerned, as long as you stay alive, you can build up the resurrection. So you can die multiple times, or you can just say choose death. Yeah. The other thing I like about it is that you kill enemies, right? And every time you get to a save point, which has the Buddha statue thing, you can rest, right, and get all your health back. But if you rest, the enemies respawn. All the enemies you killed respawn if you rest.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that.
It is. Yeah. Because it's like, well, I'm really low on life. I have no more items. I need to rest. But fuck, all those enemies I just killed are going to come back. So you have a choice to make. So it's hard, but it's all due to your choices, So it's like, go stealth. Go stealth as often as you can. Because, man, these enemies are hard. They're hard, but the attacks, the little tools, everything about it's really fucking cool. The only trouble I've had with the gameplay, like it says, the lock-on, and one instance of where I was grappling onto a tree, and every time, because you have no control over where you land when you grapple. Yeah. It's an automatic grapple and a place you land. There was one tree where I land, and no matter what I did, I'm just gonna fall off every time because he's like stuck on like a little twig part that's sticking out, and no matter where I go, just fall.
Damn.
So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's maybe because from the angle I'm grappling it from.
Possibly.
Maybe because I had to go to work, so I had to stop playing. But I did it like 3 times, and every time I couldn't continue. So we'll see. I'll figure it out the next time I play. All right. But awesome game. I'm loving the combat. You feel badass when you get it down, especially like I'd gotten the countering down pretty good, and it was just like, oh, hey, look, here come 3 dudes running at me. Counter die, counter die, counter die. Oh, you guys suck,
Oh, man.
And you feel really badass when you do it right. So, anyways, tons of fun. Play it. We should move on.
Yes, we should. Or we'll be stuck here forever.
Yes.
So the next bit of information we had was your
events that were happening this week. So I had a chance to go to ILM and watch a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse behind the scenes tech talk, and it was very inspiring. And it wasn't so much that they showed like how to do the techniques that they did, but it was more about the thought processes of how they got to the technique that they did.
Okay.
And it was more about like, hey, here's the usual pipeline, the usual way of thinking about making a movie, making the art for the movie, all the stuff. And it was just like, we totally just said, fuck it. The motto they had is, if it ain't broken, break it. That's like the motto they had going around. That was, if it ain't broken, break it. Because it's going to lead you to, you might make 20 different things that you're not going to use, but you're going to get ideas that are going to lead to the final thing that you make.
Nice. And
they went with a very, painterly. If you've seen the movie, it's fucking gorgeous.
Oh
it's very artistic, painterly, comic book. It looks fucking great, and it's like the different like layers of things that were going on, the thought process. Getting to see early tests of how they got to that, early models, early storyboards, just like tests of, hey, can we make a animation that that when you pause it, it looks like this concept art kind of deal. They just kept giving themselves challenges, and they kept iterating and meeting each challenge. And saying, oh, this looks cool, but is this going to work? And can we do this? And can we combine these two things? And how can we simplify that? And look how like strangely artistic we can go with this visual, and it looks totally fine. Like you wouldn't think like, oh, this doesn't look realistic at all, or it looks like straight up like impressionistic art.
Yeah.
For some parts of the background and stuff, and they just have things happening.
It's Van Gogh.
And they're just like, oh look, they had like little lights and things moving, and but you put that like in the background over things, it's just like the hustle and bustle of the city of lights and cars and things moving around. But when you separate that part out, it's just a bunch of squares and circles and little lights moving and changing size and shit.
That's cool.
But in context of the movie and the way the visuals are and how they did like this, like old comic books, how when they do the different colors that they would print, how they'd be the registration wouldn't be correct, and so you'd see like the red and the green kind of overlapping incorrectly. I don't know if you noticed, but that's how they did focus in that movie. Was that when things are out of focus, they're more unregistered on the colors.
No, I remember that.
So all these different techniques that they did, they built up. It fucking led to a beautiful movie. There's just too many things to talk about on that. But I was
stop you there.
I was very lucky to go, and like I said, it was a very inspiring talk, and I'm glad I went.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man. I wish I had the day off.
The other event we went to.
Oh yes. So we went to the Toejam and Earl launch party in Milpitas, and we got to sit down and at a panel for basically the talking of the game. The developers were talking about the game, and answered the questions that we previously had written down. Everybody had written down their questions, put them in a box, and they went and answered them afterwards. We have the full video on YouTube at the moment, but so if you guys want to go and watch it there, you can get
it was like an hour and a half.
It was an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
It was an hour and a half panel. It was pretty fun. Well, the event was fun itself. It was just like, man. Like we go in and they had a little bit of swag for us, and you could play the game and talk with people, and they had tacos.
They had their board game that I hadn't known about. Toejam and Earl board game, but they had one.
Yeah, it never was released.
Well, yeah, but Greg talked about it. He went on about how they had a game, and I forget what the actual game was called, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're going to put it on as Toejam and Earl." And then it went out, and it never got released.
Yeah, well,
they played it in the.
Basically, someone called them up and was like, "Hey, do you guys have a board game in mind? Like, do you have an idea? Do you know,
that's right. That's right."
And he's like. Yes. When someone asks you if you have a board game in the works, you say, "Yeah, of course we do." you know. And so he retrofitted that other game that he had been kind of working on in his mind. But yeah, they never needed to actually release it. Just tons of questions, lots of not just about the current game, which was cool, learning about how it was made, where the ideas came from, who was involved, but also talking with Greg, the original creator of Toejam and Earl from the Genesis.
Yes.
And just picking his mind a little bit and hearing stories. And it's an hour and a half, but it's a lot of fun stuff, especially if you like Toejam and Earl. So it was. I'm glad we went. A
lot of weird stories in there. So I definitely would suggest you guys go listen to the stories, because there's a couple where you're just like, oh damn, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun, because everybody it was a smaller, intimate gathering. Yeah. So everybody that was there wanted to be there. Everybody was there because they loved the game, or they were backers for when they did the Kickstarter.
People got free ships. I was sad.
I know. They had an Oprah moment where they had tickets underneath the seats. Like, check on your seat if you have a ticket. It's like, oh, I didn't have one. Shit.
Although one of the guys that was there, Matt, suggested that we take a swing on down to the studio at some point, and possibly they have a few more ships, so we may do that. Most likely not, unfortunately.
But no, it was a fun night.
Indeed,
met a lot of cool people and learned a lot of stuff that didn't really need to know, but I'm kind of glad I know now.
Yeah. Shout out to Retroblock Gamers, or Retroblock Party Gamers. I think that's how you say their name. Anyways, they do charity events, live streams of their gameplay for charity events. So I'll leave a link down below in the YouTube channel for this for more information. So please go check us out on YouTube, and hopefully you guys can find them. They were really cool.
Yeah, and they made quite the trip just to be there.
Yes, San Diego.
Yeah, they came from San Diego.
Oh, man.
Just for that day, just for that event.
Yeah.
So dedicated.
Yes, very much so. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool. All right. So those were the big events that we got to go to.
Yes.
For GDC. But, of course, GDC itself had a bunch of big announcements.
Of course. Which was the Google's
Stadia.
Stadia. Thank you. I keep on calling it Strata for some reason.
Oh, yeah, you keep having trouble saying it, pronouncing it. It's a little bit of an odd name.
Yeah.
A little bit of an odd name. But as we had talked about in previous shows, they had that Assassin's Creed Odyssey stream test.
Yes.
And that seemed to have gone really well. Google has 7,500 different server stations around the world or something. They have tons and tons of servers around the world, and they're just kind of building the infrastructure for Stadia on top of it. Stadia itself is basically that's their gaming platform. It's you access it through the Chrome web browser.
Yep.
So whether you have a laptop or a tablet or even just a freaking Chromecast USB that connects into your smart TV, you can play games through Stadia. So I want to say now too.
Yes, I'm winning.
Screw you, asshole. So it's a very cool concept. They were partnering up. I think it was AMD. To do custom chips, really high grade fucking chips. That can basically it can outperform Xbox One and a PS4 Pro combined.
Oh, nice.
And they're going to have multiple of these in their server stacks, and they're encouraging developers to make use of multiple CPU, GPUs, all that stuff to create their games. Because you don't have to worry about does this person have this specs on their PC or that specs on their PC? Do they have an Xbox or do they have a PS4? It's no. It's you use whatever it is that you want to use for Stadia. That's what everybody's gonna have access to because you're just accessing it through your web browser. And it's interesting because since it's all like localized on Google's servers, they can introduce a lot of other stuff. So one of them was like you do save state, like on emulators, you do save states, right? Essentially, what they wanted to be able to do is have like save states for the game that you're playing. Because if the games are developed for Stadia in mind, they can keep track of placement in the world, inventory, all those different things. And so you can actually say, hey, here's a save state, and save that link and put it like on your YouTube channel, on your YouTube video, or whatever it is you're doing. Share that link and show people like, hey, here is that save state that I just did.
Yeah.
And like, hey, here's a speed run. Share it. Try to beat my saves. Try to beat my speed run, stuff like that. So it's an interesting concept.
I can see that being pretty useful for those who want to do speed runs.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, because like there's always controversy about like, hey, look at my video. People are like analyzing, like, oh, it looks like you edited right there, that one frame, like it doesn't match up, and you cheated and whatever. You know what? If you can just like from Google servers, here's a link of everything they kept track of my speed run of the actual position. Like this you can't edit that. Because that's Google sending like, here's the actual data from the game. There's no more proof than that. Like, hey, here's the actual data of my speedrun. So that's going to be very cool for the speedrunning community. What they're showing off here on the
switching
on the
from
video.
each one. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, on the fly, switching from one device to the other, being exactly where you were playing before.
Damn.
I mean the power that they're giving developers, to create these games. You can literally be doing like fluid dynamics, particle, dynamics and stuff. And you have use of multiple, like I said, multiple CPUs or GPUs or whatever. I forget exactly what they were saying. But no, it's like you can't have that kind of computing power at home. But in this sense you can, as well as their custom controller. You don't have to use a custom controller. You can use any USB controller that connects to the device that you're playing.
Yeah.
But the controller that they're introducing, it's interesting because it's not like Bluetooth or USB. It's a Wi-Fi controller.
Nice.
So it's kind of their way of trying to have one less step for you to control directly to their servers. And, decrease latency.
Oh, is this the actual design? Oh.
Yeah. I know. That's why it's an optional thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just...
I mean, if you're going to be playing, like, on a Chromecast USB dongle that's, like, hooked up to your TV, then, yeah, this is kind of the way you go. You're obviously not a video game player.
Yeah.
So the controller's not going to matter too much to you.
Oh, but it does to me.
But if you have like gaming consoles, then you're obviously going to have like some sort of USB controller that you're going to be able to connect to it. Your preferred controller. If you have a preferred controller, you're going to be able to connect it to like, your laptop or your PC or whatever the hell it is, and play with that.
But they should make a controller out of our design for our logo. Yes.
Yeah, I think it would not be comfortable.
No,
it wouldn't be comfortable at all. It was made to look clunky and old,
which is cool. It's a retro thing.
Our logo thing. Yeah.
Anyhow,
so yeah, there's a lot of cool things happening there. Personally, I'm excited because I'm a big tech geek.
Yeah.
So the idea behind it is very interesting, and it's just like my mind just blown over like the possibilities behind this. No actual, as far as I've seen, no actual details for like pricing that I've seen. I mean, it's still really early.
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining it has to be a service.
Of course it is.
Because it's gonna be, that is their platform. Instead of buying an Xbox or a PS4, you're basically it's Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully, they don't, suffer too much from the internet going down, and you'll have all your options of playing as often as you want.
Right.
That's the only downfall I see to that, is if your service gets screwed somehow, or blackouts.
Right.
But hey, that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good alternative to not actually owning a console.
It's always it's ever rotating evolution of technology is all it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we're short on time here. So let's.
Sorry,
let's jump to the last thing, which is Epic
Game Store. Yes, it goes on and on and on.
I'll let you take over.
So yeah, Epic Game Store has now taken several other games. Some of the PS4 games. Was it Industries of Titan, which was a game we were looking forward to on Steam. Dauntless. And yes, this one here, indeed, Outer Worlds. God damn. So Outer Worlds is now going to be on Epic Game Store for a year before it comes out on Steam.
It's a timed exclusive.
So that's going to be crazy. I guess I'm going to have to get it on Epic. Because I'm definitely playing the crap out of that game when it comes out.
And you don't want to wait.
No.
You're not going to want to wait for this.
No.
Not
Hell, if they can give it to me early, I'll do it. For free. Anyways, on top of that, not only did they have the that game, Outer Worlds, which everybody's looking forward to, they specifically had a pre-order game that I personally have been waiting for a very, very long time. And thankfully, it's actually being created by one of the people I really enjoy playing their games, which is Paradox. Oh god, I can't believe I forgot the last name. But anyways, it's Paradox.
Interactive, isn't it?
Yes, Interactive. Thank you. But this is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. So this will be the third Vampire game, but it will be the second for the Bloodlines. And it is not in-game, but if they are able to get somewhat in the direction that they want to go from what we've seen here, I'll be happy. I'll be enjoying the living crap out of this. It just makes me want to go back and play more vampire stuff.
Right.
I was a big fan of, Vampire the Masquerade, White Wolf. I used to LARP a lot, so...
Yeah, and I mean, the technology's there. They could make the game look like this. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to, but if this is their idea of what they want to do, then it could end up being pretty cool. But but this is not actual game footage. No, it's all pre-rendered. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I mean, high hopes.
It looks like it's happening in the same place as the first one did, which I can't even think of where it's at now. Crap. Yeah, no, I can't remember where it was located. It's been that long since I played that damn game. But it's in the real world. So yeah, it's in California. I want to say it's San Diego. No, the boardwalk. Where the hell is that boardwalk?
Santa Cruz?
No, it's south.
South?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. Forget it. It doesn't matter.
South? Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. I'm rambling on now. But yeah, no, the game looks. If they do what they're showing us, it would be great.
Yeah.
Make that clear. But I already pre-ordered it, so.
Of course you did.
Yes.
Of course you did. Yeah. I mean, GDC, there's a lot of coverage. Check out coverage online, because there's a shit ton of cool indie games that are coming out. Lots of stuff. New Odd World.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole Nintendo showcase, the Nindies. Nintendo indie games. Actually, a lot of really cool stuff. Double Fine showed off some cool stuff. A game called Rad.
Yeah, I know. Rad looked pretty good.
Yeah. I'm just gonna fire these off real quick, just because we got to end the show.
Yeah.
And Unreal showed off a big old demo with the real-time ray tracing. Fucking gorgeous. Check it out. Yeah, just too many more things to talk about, but just know...
Not enough time.
Not enough time. But yeah, tons of indie games. Check them out. There's a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah. And if we do things the way we want to, we may be doing a longer version next week of the podcast, due to we have Eric Christopher Myers will be on live streaming, live.
We'll be Skyping.
Skype, yeah.
We'll be Skyping live.
I don't know how to put that. Anyways, we'll be talking to him live on Skype. But also we're thinking of doing something for the 50th episode, so we may have friends drop in and out throughout the whole day, and just tell us what type of game, what genre of game people like to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to having people here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It'll be a little different than our usual shows, but it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, anyways, until next time.
Till next time, I'm Chris.
David.
And this is BFG.
See y'all later.